Knowing how to talk to women might just be the single most important skill a man can learn. Not every man is born with the gift of the gab. It takes practice to know how to approach a woman and engage her in stimulating conversation. In this video, I will give you a surefire conversation tips to help you navigate that all-important first conversation. 1. Compliment her. Well, starting off a date with a great compliment immediately makes you seem kind, attentive, and considerate. It can lead to a great conversation and set up a whole evening for success. You might be tempted to start a conversation by complimenting a woman's physical appearance. But more effective approach is complimenting something related to her personality. If she's a colleague who just gave a great presentation in a meeting, compliment her on her confidence and public speaking skills. If she's carrying a book you've read before, compliment her on her taste in literature. Take things one step further by praising personal qualities instead of acquired talents. In other words, complimenting a woman's skill at networking shows your appreciation for her business acumen. Tell a woman you admire her intrinsic kindness, though, and you show your appreciation for who she is as a person. 2. Tell a joke. This might be the easiest way to break the ice. Landing a joke at the beginning of a conversation lets your date know right from the get-go that you have a great sense of humor. If you establish yourself as a funny guy at the onset of a conversation, you have a much higher chance of seeming attractive to your conversational partner. Just steer clear of jokes that are overtly political, vulgar, or crass. Those kinds of jokes might go over well with your friends, but they're not the greatest way to make a good first impression on a stranger or casual acquaintance. 3. Find common ground. A really easy strategy for knowing how to talk to women is using what you have in common as a springboard. One of the simplest ways to do this is to use the setting of the conversation to your advantage. For example, if you're approaching a beautiful woman at a party, you could ask her, "How do you know the host?" That way, you can establish that you both have at least one person in common, and the conversation can progress from there. If you're at a work event, how long have you been a part of this organization? No matter what situation you're in, beginning with the settings or people you have in common can help create a solid foundation for the rest of the conversation. 4. Notice details. You'd compliment a well-dressed man on his stylish accessories, so why not do the same for a woman? A woman's clothing can be a great jumping-off point for a conversation. If she's wearing a shirt or hat with a sports logo, you can ask her if she's a fan of that team. The same applies for clothing with movie and TV references or unique accessories like eccentric jewelry, shoes, or a quirky purse. Asking about those accessories can also be a great way to break the ice. Complimenting a cool or quirky outfit shows you're attentive in a sophisticated and attentive way, not creepy or lecherous. 5. Ask about her passions. The idea of carrying a conversation all by yourself probably feels intimidating if you're shy or introverted. An easy, subtle way to shift the focus of the conversation to your partner is to ask her what she's passionate about. You don't have to straight up ask her, "What are your passions?" Try asking her what she likes to do in her free time instead. Start off by sharing something you like to do, and then ask her to pipe in. For example, "You know, I've been trying to learn Spanish lately. A friend of mine showed me a really cool app called Duolingo. It's way more fun than 8th grade Spanish. What do you like to do in your free time?" Knowing their talents and interests also gives you a great opportunity to compliment a woman without mentioning their appearance. It's a classy move, and immediately separates you from other men. 6. Avoid mansplaining. What woman doesn't love a whip-smart man? Talking to a woman knowledgeably and articulately makes you very attractive in a first conversation. There's a critical caveat, though. Acting too knowledgeable can be a turnoff. You may have heard of the term mansplaining. It essentially describes a situation where a man grossly underestimates a woman's intelligence by explaining things she clearly already knows. The solution? You can mitigate the risk of seeming hubristic by keeping your comments brief, and perhaps by softening the impact, for example, by ending with, "Just a thought." What do you think? Doing this gives your date or partner the opportunity to share her expertise and offer her opinions. You're not making her feel steamrolled by your knowledge. 7. Don't talk about your ex. A man who rants about his ex does not know how to talk to women. Especially if you're on a first date, bringing up past relationships is an instant conversation killer. It sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how easy it is to accidentally mention exes. Remember that your date isn't your psychiatrist. Don't unload your emotional baggage on her. When you bring up your most recent ex, no matter what, your motive, your date, is going to decide you're more interested in your ex than her. How to talk to women. Even if your last relationship ended on a sour note, try to focus on the potential for a new and happier relationship. Don't give in to the temptation to dig up old beef. 8. Scan the room. Before you even talk with a woman, you want to watch how she enters the room. Does she come in and go straight to your table, or does she pause and look around? What is going unsaid is she's either giving you 100% of her focus, or she's looking over other men. Use this to get a sense of where she sees your relationship. If she is not giving you 100% of her attention, take things slow but make sure she knows you are interested in her. Now, how to talk to women and the size of intimate spaces changes from culture to culture. Many people in Hong Kong think it's okay to talk closely to each other. If you're in central US, though, people give each other plenty of space. What about touching? A woman touching your elbow, back, shoulders. All of these are great indicators. We all feel much closer to people that we have actually touched. This is why I advocate guys wearing textured clothes like cashmere sweaters and tweed sports jackets. People naturally want to reach out and touch it. Knowing how to talk to women can seem tough. You might be afraid of rejection or coming off the wrong way. Talking to women isn't rocket science, though. It comes down to confidence and practice. Remember, the worst she can do is say no.